So please welcome Tanner Pruitt.
Thank you, Mr. Meyer, and all of you for letting me be here today. I'm honored to have the opportunity to speak to you and share my remarks about what I think is one of our city's most underrated institutions, Bibb County Public Schools. And a few weeks ago, when I was planning what I was going to say, I looked to one of the best orators of the 20th century, Franklin Roosevelt. And after reading his fireside chats and some of his wartime speeches, I realized I'm not going to be able to say anything as good as he did. But there is one thing that he and I have in common, and that's our passion. He believed as strongly in our nation, and our military, and our people as I do in the potential and integrity of our public education system. And I'm here, I'm here to extol some of the merits of our public schools, and specifically my high school, Central High School, and its International Baccalaureate program. Now, I've been a product of the public school system since elementary school. I went to Alexander II, and then Howard Middle School, and now Central High School. And throughout it all, I've been astounded by the benefits afforded me by Bibb County schools. I've had wonderful new facilities and buildings all along. And more than that, I've had wonderful instruction from my great teachers. And I believe that instruction has culminated in the International Baccalaureate program at Central High School. For those of you who don't know, the International Baccalaureate program, or IB program, is a rigorous academic curriculum that, in addition to regular academic instruction in 6 different areas, requires a theory of knowledge course, an independent research investigation on a topic of a student's choice, and creativity, action, and service hour requirements. Oral and written examinations are required in each subject after 2 years of study, and they're sent off and graded all around the world. About 3 months ago, I had some IB physics labs sent off to Japan to be graded. And the interesting thing about this program is that the exams I take and the assessments I fill out are the same as those exams taken and filled out by other IB students all over the world. And because of this, it's the only educational program that makes sure that all students who are in it, in 141 different countries, are on par with each other. It's the only educational program that ensures that American high school students aren't falling behind high school students in other countries. And that's been a problem lately. Americans have been falling behind. We've been giving up our jobs for the last 20 years to people in India and China and Indonesia. And we can't let that happen. We used to be on top of the world, and we're relinquishing our hold on the reins of the world a little too easily. And the IB program helps ensure that we come out with an education that allows us to compete on a global scale. As Dr. Dahlman's been saying for the past few months in his public meetings, we're not just competing with Jones County and Monroe County, or Tennessee and Alabama, or Texas and California and New York. We're not competing with our neighbors anymore. Now we're competing with people the world over, in China and Taiwan, people who are right now taking our jobs. And because we live in a global economy, the only way to excel is to have a global education. And IB has provided me with that so far. And this program, as I've made clear, is pinnacle at preparing students for competition on a global scale and giving them the skill set necessary to succeed in a variety of areas. The IB diploma is only granted at 25 out of the 917 high schools in Georgia. And Macon is fortunate enough to have one of those high schools, Central. Now, the unfortunate thing about this is it's incredibly underutilized. There are so many more people who can be involved in it. And I believe this points to a larger problem that we have in our community. And that is that so many parents send their kids to private schools because they're afraid of the public schools. I understand there are legitimate reasons for sending kids to private schools, but far too often the kids are sent there for illegitimate reasons because the parents just don't know enough about the public schools. They're afraid of them, the parents are. They believe that the public school system is a cesspool when it comes to education, that it's violent, that it's dangerous, and too often, parents are afraid that the public schools have too much diversity. And I sincerely hope that the numbers of people who refuse to send their children to certain schools because of race and how many people of one race are at a school is declining. But so far the numbers don't show that. I've gone to public school for 13 or 12 years now, and I've noticed public schools don't have fights every day. There aren't kids selling drugs out of their lockers. There's not gang wars in the hallways, and I've never once been challenged for my religious beliefs. And a lot of that has been said about public schools, and it's just not true. I've been there for 12 years, and that's never happened to me. And the educational quality speaks for itself. Every year, my high school and the others in the county send students to participate in the Duke Talent Identification Program and the Governor's Honors Program, which are both summer enrichment and highly prestigious programs for excellent academic students. And upon graduation, we send students to the best universities in the country. We send students to Cornell, Yale, Emory, Georgia Tech, the UGA Honors College, Williams College, Princeton, Harvard. Emma Brown, who's here right now, she graduated from the IB program last year, and she's now at Harvard, and Stanford, and all the other great schools. And if that's not enough, know that the IB program at Central is not like whatever other conceptions you may have about public school. It's a small enclave, it's a tight-knit community of motivated, high-achieving students who forge bonds that last through high school and into college and later in life. And we as IB students, as Central students, we want to share our school with the community. And we want to invite anyone to come to our school and see why we care so much about it, to walk our halls, to sit in our classes, and to experience what public school really is like, what Central High School really is like, and see why I want to stand here and speak about the merits of it, because they really are there. The merits really are there. Public schools gotten a bad rap, but there is good in it, and I'm here to tell you about that good. And on behalf of Central High School, the IB program, and Bibb County schools, I implore you to support those schools that you already pay your taxes for. And you're all business people, you all know the taxes you pay that go to support education, those are an investment. And unless you do all that you can to support those schools, you're not going to get your full return on that investment. And you want that, and I want that for our schools. And the perception of our public schools needs to change, because the schools are already a lot better than they get credit for. And any change that you or I want to see in those public schools can be made, we just actually have to make it happen. And I'm doing as much as I can by speaking here today and saying what I can about my high school and what I've observed in our public school system. But it's up to people like you who have more power and more influence than I do to make the decisions that really determine the direction our public schools are going to go in. And that's going to determine the direction our city's going to go in. I'm speaking on behalf of many students, many more students in Macon who care about our schools as much as I do, and who want your help to continue to improve them. And Dr. Dalaman's he's going to say the same things. He's going to say that as much as I care about our schools, and as much as any one person cares about our schools, one person can't make the difference. And it's up to people with the power to make that difference, who are sitting in this room right now, to really lift up our public school system and bring our city in a good direction through that. Thank you very much for letting me speak here today, and please pay close attention to Dr. Dalaman as he speaks now. Thank you.